Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So, midweek video. I haven't done one of these in a while, but my DMs and comments are going nuts right now, asking me my opinion on what's going on with GameStop right now. Now, if you're watching this, you know what the deal is with GameStop. But I think I want to use this video just to kind of give my perspective and just kind of maybe be a voice of reason in all the madness that is going on right now. It's definitely a topic in my Discord group. Some of the boys are in on this, so they're enjoying the ride right now. I say enjoying. Some of them, I believe, are. Others aren't, finding it very, very nerve-wracking. Some people thinking, oh my God, I wish that I'd stayed in. I just want to explain what's going on here because this is a prime example of a short squeeze. I'm going to explain what it is and ultimately, hopefully, give you maybe some things to think about if you are considering going into this for a trade. Now, clearly, I don't control your money. I don't have any power over you. I don't certainly earn your money, and I'm not your guardian, but hopefully this will give you some idea as to what's going on right now with GameStop, because this isn't child's play, guys. And whilst people may say that you can make a load of money doing this, you've got to have the stomach for it. And the stomach for it sometimes you don't realize you don't have until you're in it. So let's start off with what a short squeeze essentially is. So this all started with a company called Melvin Capital effectively taking out contracts to short the share price of GameStop. Now, what is a short? A short is essentially where you take out a contract or a bet, you place a bet that the share price in the company is going to go down. If the share price does in fact go down, then you stand to make a lot of money. However, if the share price goes up, you stand to lose a lot of money. And this is where it gets interesting because the dynamics around this are that most companies, when they take out an option to short a stock in some way, shape, or form, some of them will do that on a leveraged account. So it means that they may only put in £1,000 capital, but they will do a leverage of maybe, say, times 10. What that means is you put in 1,000, but you've got 10,000 to essentially trade with. And if you make money, that's all very well and good, right? So if it goes up by 100%, you've made a ton of money. But if the bet goes against you, if the option goes against you, because you've leveraged, it means that you essentially owe money to the investment house or the platform that you've essentially used to place your bet, the brokerage that you've used to place your bet. And this is the trouble that you have with a short squeeze, because essentially the bet was that the share price will go down. And people like Wall Street Bets have basically said, no, we don't think so. We're going to bet the opposite way, push volume into the market. And with so much volume going into the market, the share price has been going up like crazy for the last week and a bit. And as a result of that, Melvin Capital, lo and behold, have now got to avoid a margin call. Now, a margin call is, remember, you put £1,000 in, you leverage by 10, so you've got £10,000 to trade. You are betting that the stock price goes down. If the stock price goes up, you lose money. And the brokerage, when you get to a certain level, will do something called a margin call. A margin call is essentially, listen, your contract, your option is going the opposite way. We want our money back, thank you very much. And what they then do is they either then just close your position straight away. So in order for that not to happen, you, who has put in £1,000 with 10 times 10 leverage, now has to put more money in to cover your losses so far. And whilst you're doing that, you're probably going to put more money in to sustain your position because you believe that the share price is going to go down. This is a vicious cycle. And the pure fact that you're covering your margin call or your losses, buying more, further drives up the share price. And this is a vicious cycle. And this is essentially what's going on with GameStop right now in a very, very brief nutshell. And so I think it's really important to kind of just reflect very briefly and look at GameStop. And the reason why this is so dangerous is because if you look back a year, this stock was trading at $4.70. And it's only on where's the beginning of this? On the 6th of January, that you started to see that it started to go up on a parabolic basis. So $18.12 on the 6th of January. You got to this little peak right here, $31 on the 12th. And then it bumbled around there, $35 on the 14th. And look at this spike. I mean, it's gone up to what, $339 as we speak right now. And this is purely because of volume, the amount of people who want to get involved in this. It's like supply versus demand. When there's so much demand, the price is going to shoot through the roof. And it's really important to put this into perspective, not just because of where the stock price was 12 months ago. This company is not making money. It is not making profits. They are in trouble. And one thing you have to understand when you think about buying a company is, well, are they making any money? If a company isn't making money, why would you invest in this business? The whole reason why Melvin Capital decided to short this is because they're not making any money. They're not forecast to make any money until 2023, I believe. So they're still way off. So if a company's not making money, then surely the share price should go down, which makes the short in the first place make sense because it's not making any money. So who's going to want to invest in it? The share price should go down. What we're seeing here is an artificial inflation of a company's share price because of organization and retail investors like you and I. And this is a prime example of the power of the retail investor. The fact that you can go against a hedge fund like Melvin Capital, push the price the opposite way, and people do well off the back of that. Now, listen, this is where the serious bit tends to happen, okay? You've got some very, very big names that have entered positions over the last few days. As of earlier today, this afternoon, Melvin Capital closed their position, and I believe that they lost something in the region of $5 billion. $5 billion. The Wall Street bet guys are proclaiming victory. Yes, we beat a hedge fund. We beat the big boys, the professionals. And don't get me wrong, people are going to make a lot of money in the process of this. The question is, should you be involved in this? And I'm going to say what I said in my Discord group on Sunday to the lads who are in there. If you're going to go in, you've got to understand how risky this is. You have to understand that you are going up against big money. And big money companies can afford to last longer than you. And therefore, if you are going to go into this, hopefully you're not going to go and purchase a call or a put option, because that's when you can get really, 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 really hurt, especially if you don't understand what you're doing. But if you're going to go and buy a couple of shares of these when you can, you need to basically have an idea of when you're going to come out. Because believe me, some of the guys who are making a lot of money right now are going to start closing their positions. And when big money close their positions because they've hit their target, you are going to see this price fall off a cliff. Because this is artificially inflated. It's not inflated because the company is doing well, because the financial numbers are making sense, because the money is making profits. No, it's making money because there's a short squeeze going on right now. And I hope I've explained this well enough, but the irony of a short squeeze is that you're trying to short the guys you're trying to squeeze the guys who placed the short in the first place, driving up the share price artificially. The guys who have put a lot of money, and there will be some hedge funds in here who have put money in the opposite way, driving the share price up. The minute they start to take profits, this share price is going to come down. So if you are going to get involved in this, you really need to know what you're getting into. And you really need to go in there with some discipline and understand that, you know what, if I've got a target of a 20%, 30%, 40%, 50% return, the minute I hit that, I get out. Because if you stay a moment later and things go the opposite way, you could be severely hurt. And listen, trading 212 and everything was down, literally this afternoon. Imagine you've put money into this. God forbid you put an option in where you have leveraged, and then the broker that you're using has a DDoS attack. You can't close your position. And in the meantime, big boys start to close their positions and it tanks. Guys, got to be really, really careful. And yes, you can put some stop losses in places, in most places, but what happens if the worst were to happen? You need to be careful, guys. So if you're going to do this, just please try and make sure that you understand what you're doing. Make sure that you have a target. Make sure you're disciplined. Don't be too greedy. The biggest the biggest instinct that you need to try and fight is FOMO. And I kid you not, FOMO. It makes people do stupid things. And my sincere hope is that if you are looking at this, that you're able to make sure that you make the right decision for yourself. Am I going to get involved? Absolutely not. It's not my style of investing. I don't necessarily have the stomach for this. I've done this kind of stuff before, lost big. So for me, I'm out. I'm not going to be doing any of it. That doesn't mean that you should be out and you should not do any of it, but it also doesn't mean that you should. Just make sure you make the right decision for you, and make sure that you research and you make sure you're comfortable with the risk that you are actually taking. But whatever you do, I wish you luck if you get involved. If you don't, just watch Reddit. I mean, Jesus Christ, it's hilarious, some of the stuff that I'm seeing right now. And pay attention to Twitter as well. Catch you later.